La gang du show.
L'audio, le visuel, mais surtout l'audio. La gang du show.
Tu devrais fortement rejoindre notre Patreon.
Sur le patreon.com.
La gang
Du show Patreon.
Premier arrivé, premier servi.
La gang du show. Propulsé par les excavations Michaud et Fils.
What a ride! What a ride! Bon dimanche! What's up, what's up? Mettez-vous bien. Bienvenue sur la gang du show. Spécial anglais, anglophone, anglophonerie directement du Danemark. La dinguerie monumentale, café à la main, dans un décor exceptionnel. Si vous n'êtes pas sur Patreon, qu'est-ce que tu fais, man? Patreon.com, la gang du show. Viens nous rejoindre! Allez! On est bien! C'est là que tout se passe. En plus, vous avez tous les vlogs quelques jours en avance. C'est l'exclusivité totale. Café instantané excellent. Hope you're good. Bon dimanche. Mettez-vous bien. Merci d'avoir syntonisé. Ça fait super plaisir. J'étais... écoutez, bon, je ne vais pas vous mentir. J'enregistre l'intro après avoir enregistré l'émission pour quelques raisons. Je vous les explique. La première, c'est que je veux vous faire un peu un genre de petit talk parce que c'est rare que j'ai l'occasion de vous jaser comme ça en étant toute seule. Puis je pense qu'une fois de temps en temps, faire un genre de compte-rendu de où on est rendu dans toute la patente, c'est vraiment pas grave. Donc, bienvenue. J'étais avec Rasmus il y a 10 minutes. Il vient juste de partir. C'est le premier show qu'on enregistre en anglais. J'étais méga stressé. Ben, tu sais, pas trop stressé, mais j'avais quand même un petit quelque chose en dedans de moi parce que mon anglais n'est pas parfait. Vous allez vous en rendre compte vous-même. L'anglais est je te dirais, à disons 75%. Disons 75%. Tout le monde est fin avec moi. Tout le monde me dit « Non, your English is so good, man. » Puis même moi, je le sais que mon English n'est pas tant good que ça parce que je jase avec le monde puis je me rends compte que le monde est meilleur que moi. Ouais! Donc, voilà. Rasmus, vous allez entendre dans quelques minutes, c'est vraiment un gars très occupé. Le gars, il gère une méga compagnie qui s'appelle Coco Development. Je pense qu'il est très impliqué dans sa compagnie. Il ne délègue pas beaucoup. Donc, écoutez, j'ai passé peut-être 10 minutes avec lui avant de commencer l'enregistrement. Et pendant les 10 minutes, il y a eu à peu près 6 appels. Puis il a envoyé 13 messages vocaux. Fait qu'il arrête juste pas 2 minutes. On a eu un super beau talk concernant sa compagnie Coco. Le gars, ça fait à peu près 2 ans qu'il habite à Bali. Il est arrivé avec un projet de développement immobilier, de complexe, de villa et tout. Puis il est en train de tout péter dans la place. Il est super respecté. Tout le monde me parle de ce gars-là. Donc, c'est la raison pour laquelle on a reçu Rasmus aujourd'hui. On va essayer de vous mettre des sous-titres en français qui seront là tout au long de l'émission. Bien sûr, on ne va pas les faire manuellement. On va trouver une intelligence artificielle qui va être capable de les faire du mieux possible. Donc, c'est possible que pendant l'interview anglophone, il y ait des places où les sous-titres ne soient pas exactement parfaits. Mais là, écoute, on ne va pas commencer à tout réécrire à mesure. Là, Kevin, ça va y prendre des heures et des heures de tout faire la traduction. Donc, on va essayer. S'il n'y a pas de sous-titres, ben, il n'y en aura pas. Puis, on va essayer de vous en faire des sous-titres automatiques directement de YouTube. Ceci étant dit, je tiens aussi à vous dire, avant que ça parte, que à 35 minutes dans l'émission, il y a eu une coupure de courant, OK? Donc, le courant a juste coupé sur Bali, l'île au complet. Je ne sais pas si c'est juste la villa ou l'île au complet. Il y a eu un shutdown de 2 secondes. Tout a arrêté. La console et les 2 caméras ont arrêté. Maintenant, j'ai un peu paniqué. C'est hors de mon contrôle. J'ai sorti les cartes SD des caméras. Je les ai rentrées dans mon ordi. J'ai regardé et... je vois pas le fichier. Donc, fichier corrompu, j'ai essayé de recover avec la caméra directement. Je suis pas sûr que ça a fonctionné. Donc, c'est possible qu'il y ait un fuck en fait, qu'il n'y ait pas d'image pour les 35 premières minutes de l'émission, en fait, de l'entrevue avec Rasmus. J'en suis sincèrement désolé. Normalement, on a toujours l'image. Mais là, regarde, c'est spécial ici. Le courant peut shutdown, puis tu t'en attends pas. Puis, ben, regarde, c'est ça qui est arrivé. Donc, s'il n'y a pas d'image pour les... Je ne le sais pas parce que je viens juste de finir l'émission. On n'est pas dans les montages, rien. S'il n'y a pas d'image, à partir du moment où l'intro avec Rasmus embarque, ben, je m'excuse. On va vous mettre le logo de la gang ou des images drôles, je ne sais pas. Mais ça sera ça. Mais on a eu une super belle discussion, Rasmus et moi. Vraiment, le gars, il est craqué. C'est un Il veut, techniquement, il veut devenir la plus grosse compagnie d'investissement au monde. En tout cas, c'est ce qu'il dit sur ses réseaux sociaux. Le gars, il a raisé 27 millions l'année passée. Il est en train de construire des complexes. Il y a 250 villas en construction présentement. Il est en train de faire construire un des plus gros gyms dans le jungle au monde. C'est vraiment un gars, il vend des affaires. C'est un crack. Il a commencé à travailler quand il avait 12 ans. Il faisait du resell de Louis Vuitton, des patentes de même. Il y avait des gros festivals à Copenhague, des festivals électro, je ne sais pas trop. Là. Il y a des bouts, il parle. Des fois, je ne comprenais pas tout le temps son accent, mais il s'exprime super bien, là, vraiment mieux que moi. Mais bref, on a vraiment un bon show pour vous autres. J'espère que vous allez l'apprécier. Donc, je vous invite à venir, les boys, sur le Patreon. C'est vraiment, vraiment la meilleure façon de supporter le projet qu'on fait. On est à fond, même si on est rendu une fois par semaine. By the way, une fois par semaine, ça change ma vie dans le mieux parce que c'est, oui, moins de travail, mais ça fait en sorte que je peux avoir un petit peu plus de préparation pour le show, m'assurer que le guest, c'est vraiment plus... C'est mieux. C'est juste mieux dans tous les sens du monde. Je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui m'ont écrit « On aimait mieux 2 shows », tout ça. Je comprends. Sauf que pour qu'est-ce que ça... Pour la charge de travail que c'est de faire 2 shows, il faudrait que je fasse ça legit temps plein. Il faudrait pas que j'en fasse 2, il faudrait que j'en fasse 3, puis que ça soit le truc principal sur lequel je mets du temps. Mais c'est pas le cas. J'ai les vlogs, j'ai Twitch, j'ai à voyager, Chris. Je suis dans un autre pays, donc j'essaie de voyager. J'essaie pas tout le temps de tout le temps filmer. Bref, on est très content quand même. Kev fait un job exceptionnel. Les réseaux sociaux vont bien. On a des super bons clips, donc je suis content. Donc, je vais vous laisser avec l'émission. Ça va être une surprise, autant pour moi que pour vous, de savoir si pour les 35 prochaines minutes, vous allez avoir de l'image. Je vous souhaite d'avoir de l'image. Si j'ai travaillé assez fort dans mes genres de recovering, de SD card et tout, on va être capable d'extraire l'image. Sinon, le fichier est corrompu, puis pour les 35 prochaines minutes, il n'y a pas d'image. Je m'en excuse. Mettez-vous bien. On lance l'intro avec Rasmus. Super bon talk. Life is good. 5 étoiles sur Spotify. Please, mettez un like sur YouTube également. Et venez nous rejoindre sur Patreon. Ça fait trop fucking plaisir. Bon show, les boys. Life is good. Ciao.
La gang du show. La gang
Du show.
L'audio, le visuel, mais surtout l'audio.
Tu devrais fortement rejoindre notre Patreon.
Sur le patreon.com, la gang du show.
Premier arrivé, premier servi.
La gang du show. Dimanche, 10h. Dimanche,
Dès 10h.
propulsé par les excavations Michaud et Fils.
Can look like Kelly Hansen, of course, man. Hey, what's up? This is my first interview in English, buddies. Bienvenue dans la gang du show. On doit être à peu près à l'épisode 130. Je suis vraiment I'm stressed, man. I'm stressed. Speak in your microphone.
Don't be. We are in the lounge. We're here for having a good time.
We're good, man. We're good. But for real, I was like, I didn't have a choice to wrote a couple questions with ChatGPT because I'm like, this is not my first language, and I'm shy as well, because my people will see how if I'm good or not in English. So I'm gonna introduce you in French a little bit, and I'm gonna start right after Rasmus. Bienvenue les amis, mettez-vous excessivement bien. C'est la première fois qu'on fait une émission en anglais. Comme je disais, je suis super stressé. On va essayer de mettre des sous-titres en dessous pour les gens qui ne parlent pas anglais. Mais sinon, ce sera une belle façon d'essayer de vous pratiquer pour comprendre les keywords. Ce gars-là, c'est un gars du Danemark. Il est arrivé à Bali, ça fait 2 ans et demi. Il n'y avait absolument rien et il a build from scratch une compagnie qui vaut des millions, une trentaine de millions de dollars et plus, puis ça prend en valeur en malade. C'est vraiment un putain de grinder. Tout le monde me l'a recommandé et je suis super content de l'avoir. Donc, on va juste rentrer dans la discussion avec lui, puis on va voir comment ça va aller. On va avoir peut-être 45 minutes, 1 heure avec lui, puis après ça, je vais finir ça toute seule parce que lui, il y a des meetings back-to-back. How many hours a day you're working, man?
Like I just spoke with a client about, a work-life balance. If you love what you do, I think the balance is, already in it. I don't like count my hours, but I'm always on.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the question differently. How much hour you sleep a night?
I sleep 8 hours every night.
Every night? Oh, so that's good. And you have good sleep?
Yeah, I would say so. I think everything become normal, by the days. I've been doing business since I was 12. So for me, it's not, things are what you make them. I make them simple. So for me, running a development company, it's not my first business.
Wait, you said you made business since you were 12? How is it possible? How is it possible? At 12, I was with my friends at the skate park. I wasn't doing business.
No, I think I've always been like a very curious person. I also think maybe that's why I live in Bali today,
Yeah.
Jumping around the world and trying to say, hey, okay, this is cool, this is nice, but maybe there is something that is better, And I think in the same way as a young kid, I was always I've always been learning quite quick. And as I usually say, like when I solve the Sudoku, like what's next? You know
What's
what I mean?
Sudoku?
Sudoku is just like when you solve the game. A Sudoku is like where you need to.
Oh, Sudoku. Yeah.
Sudoku,
Okay. Yeah.
And I think in the same way, I love to grow. I love to learn. I love to,
But what were you doing at 12 years old as a business?
I sold like luxury goods secondhand. So Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Burberry.
At 12?
Well, actually when I was 10. So from when I was 10 to I was 12, I made my first $1 million Danish.
So you have it in you, the business part. Like this is.
I was recording a podcast here the other day, and as I said, the same as you can see from, for example, Warren Buffett or other like persons who you can say have been doing really, really well. You see a lot of the same pattern going again and again. And what is the pattern? That is that they, in a very young age, have started, let's call it a business. But other words, what's very, very interesting is that they have, in a very young age, found out that you don't need to trade your time to make money. You can trade a product or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I could resell a jacket and I could make $200. And if I count in hours, it would probably take me 3 hours.
Yeah.
That means in a very young age, I find out that, the more effective I am, the higher is my salary. Versus if I work 1 hour, I'm going to make $20. If I'm sleeping at work, or if I do a good job, I'm still going to make $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were in Denmark for the most part of your life. And what brought you to Bali?
I think the classic story, I came as a tourist and I ended up never leaving. So
That's it. Yeah, it's like me. I'm like, should I move in?
Yeah. So it's not the first time I was traveling. I traveled from Denmark when I was like 21. I moved to Cyprus, and I've lived in Dubai. I've been a lot in Spain. I've been a lot in Istanbul.
How old are you?
I'm 29 today.
I'm older than today.
I was also 29 yesterday.
Okay. I was to say happy birthday, but I'm older than you. I'm so fucking old, man. What the fuck? I'm 32, man.
It's beautiful.
Okay. You look great, man. You look
too.
But you're 29, man. That's insane. You've accomplished a lot in your life for 29, no?
Yeah, I think I don't want to say I'm humble, but I'm quite down to earth. I'm just very reflective about what I do. And I like, literally speaking, I think like simplicity is the key to very, very many things.
Yeah.
I probably have around, like across everything, maybe around 600 people below me today. But that's not how I look at it. I just look at it in a bigger picture that I have a product, I have a marketing, I have sales.
Yeah.
That's the three things you have in a company. And then between that, you have some processes, you have a value chain, you can optimize on making the quality, the design, the storytelling, whatever it could be of your product better. You can make your marketing activities better. You can make your sales process better. That's it. That's a company.
So you came in Bali like 2.5 years ago. You saw the vibe. You love the place. Met some good people. You're already yourself an entrepreneur, businessman, and you see an opportunity here about the villas or the construction. You see what do you see in Bali at this time that's like lights you inside, like, oh shit, I should move here and do business here?
Bali is very, very, very special for me, as well as I can imagine is for a lot of people. Bali is like, from my perspective, I would say it was the other way around. I started a business in Bali because I wanted to have a future in Bali.
Okay.
So that was my why. I know business brings people together, and I love to do business. For me, it's just like a hobby. Like you ask me how many hours do you work per day?
Yeah.
I played table tennis when I was a kid on a high level. I came on 6th place.
Table tennis?
Table tennis, yeah.
Are you good at ping pong?
I was very good at ping pong. My point is just I don't count the hours I was training, and for me it's a little bit the same. Doing a business, I see myself as, let's call it, athlete. It's my sport. I love it. You know what I mean? I love to, like my girl say, why are you sitting in a meeting on a Saturday? It's Saturday. It's like, you're sitting on a cafe talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Not to be rude.
Yeah,
but for me, it's just, I'm just meeting, inspiring people and as a curious person, for me, that's incredible.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so you came here, and so your business is called Coco. That's the main purpose we're talking today. And that is a fast growing business. Oh, our other guest is here. Come in, come. You good? So we're here to talk about Coco. So what's Coco? What's your business?
We are with Coco Development Group, or Coco,
Yeah.
creating lifestyle property chain number 1 in the world. That's the vision. So you can say we have been.
So you want that's one thing I saw on your post, because I went on your Instagram yesterday. Fucking nice Instagram, nice aesthetic, very, very, very nice aesthetic. Like nice videographers, nice editing, like the vibe and the looking of the company. When you see it at first, you're like, oh shit, this is great.
Thank you very much.
So what I don't know what I say that, but so yeah. Coco is a development. I don't know what was my question. Sorry, my English is like,
no, it's beautiful. Yeah. I can also just explain a little bit more. Like you spoke about our Instagram. So let's say, for example, you go to the Instagram of Nike. It's not what you do, but why you do it, or what it creates for the buyer. And that's very much the same. We create, as I said, at Investment Forum, I was one of the main speakers. We create more than properties. We don't sell properties. We are selling an experience. So what we're selling a lifestyle. So it's not like the property is just a functional thing. That's the what. But what we have a big focus on is like what it can create for you as a user. So in the bigger picture, we are on one hand an investment company. On the other hand, we're a lifestyle brand. We have our own clothing brand.
You just launched it a couple weeks ago.
Coco Activewear. So for us, it's a little bit saying, for example, me, I've been traveling. I've been in a lot of countries, traveled a lot through my days. I've been staying in a lot of hostels. I've also been staying in a lot of 5-star hotels, just to put some perspectivation. I think they both have something beautiful in them. The hostel have taught us community, experiences, sitting on a long table, actually meeting people. And the 5-star hotel, they have the amenities, they have maybe a nice gym, they have a spa, and so on. So you say a lot of what Coco stands for is creating memories, creating experience, and bringing people together. Yeah. So we take a little bit the same, like the elements from two worlds. Mm-hmm. What I find very unfascinating about like living on a 5-star hotel, for example, or like something very luxury or premium, is that it's often quite exclusive. And when I mean exclusive, it's exclusive in the way that it's quite often quite boring. Yeah, people are just sitting for themselves. You don't communicate. You don't connect. Yeah. And as I usually say, like if you ask me what is the best place I've been in the world, I guarantee you it's not based on the place I stayed, but the people I met. And that is exactly what Coco stands for.
Yeah. So you're investing in complex, in villas. So what exactly Coco do?
We build villas as well as we build resorts on behalf of our clients. So we have around 250 properties under construction right now.
250? That's
we have six developments with number 7 and 8 under in a process. So we started around 1.5-2 years ago. We have raised around $27 million now.
That's nuts.
So we made $20 million in our...
We're talking USD money right now.
USD, yes.
Yeah, because 27 million here is like 2.5K, 2.7K. So, yeah.
It's not much. It reminds me a little bit about one of the first transfers I had to do to our construction firm. Yeah. And let's just say I forgot to put some zeros
Yeah.
on it back, so I should have transferred. I don't know. I don't remember. Let's say I should have transferred $50,000, and I transferred like $5 or something. You go have fun, kid.
Yeah, IDR is fucked, man. It's so cheap. Like everything is. Like yesterday, we went to a steakhouse, and it was like I don't remember. I think it was 1.5 million. And I was like, fuck. At first, I see the number. I was 1.5 million. And after that, I'm just, okay, it's $125 for Canadian money. So
You were
Boys and
Cows.
Boys and Cows. That's so fucking good.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's definitely
Very nice steakhouse.
Tomahawk.
We had Australian strip. I don't know.
Strip line.
Yeah, that was so good. So you're building. So you raised $27 million. And you're building. So what I saw on your Instagram is we can with Coco we can build starting from 116K. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, we have some different opportunities. So in general, you can invest into a property, so you become the owner of this single property.
And after that, I want you to explain a little bit. I'm sorry to cut you. I'm gonna let you explain that. But there's a thing with the land here. I know the land is a little complicated because you can own a house, but you don't own the land behind it. So continue. I'm sorry, I cut you.
I can also explain if you like to about land. So we have 6 developments. We have our latest development number 6 called Coco Hills. Yeah. So for example, that development, we own the land freehold. So you have 2 different land options called leasehold or freehold.
Yeah.
As I usually say to my clients, it's just about understanding it. Having the option to invest into leasehold is literally speaking, it's the best thing that could ever happen to a real estate market.
The leasehold.
The leasehold, yeah.
So you own it for an amount of time.
Exactly. So you can, for example, lease land for like 30 years, 50 years, and then you have the right to extend it. You need to have the right. So in all of our developments, for example, you have the right to extend it with a locked-in price. So you can say, why is this so positive? Well, because you can just optimize on your cash flow way better. Imagine 2 examples. You have, let's say you're a taxi driver, or you want to become a taxi driver, right? Yep. And you want to go into the business, and you have one option, and that is you need to buy the Mercedes. You need to buy the car up front. You need to pay $100,000. That's the only option you have. Well, then you have to put a lot of money up front. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's long to get that money.
Exactly. Yeah. Like your break even is going to take forever. But what if you had the option to just lease the Mercedes? Mm-hmm. So you said, hey, I would like to make a contract of that. I, over the next 30 years, pay off this Mercedes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit the same. Mm-hmm. You lease the land, you make a long-term payment plan. Yeah. So you say, I would like to appreciate this property. It costs, let's say, $100,000 or $150,000. You pay that over a construction period following the construction of the development. If you, let's say, invest in a property that is under construction, when you have paid the $150,000, then you own this property for the next 30 years. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose it. You are never going to lose it.
Yeah.
You still have the right by contract to extend it.
After the amount of time.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you don't need to pay for 100 years up front. So your investment becomes way smaller.
Yeah.
That's also why a real estate market like Bali can make you 15 to 20% in returns. It's simply because you have a smaller, your initial investment is simply smaller.
That's insane, man. That's insane. And the thing is too, so what about so if imagine I am one of your clients. Mm-hmm. So I come to you and I want to build something here in Bali. So I come to you and I'm like, hey, Rasmus, I see Coco. Because I'm sure some people who are listening us, they see the life I have here. They see all my vlogs, everything, and they're like, fuck, I want to move there. So I'm a client. I come to you, hey, Rasmus, I have this amount of money. I want to build something not too expensive, like a small villa, 1 or 2 bedrooms, whatever. And so how it works. So it's where we start, what we do if we want to work with you.
Transparent, I would recommend people to invest into a resort.
In a resort?
with other words, I would recommend people to invest into a development. Why? For a few reasons. Like I used to say, it's the same with our company. You can say making a small banana cake or make a big banana cake, it takes the same time.
Yeah.
You need to go to the kitchen.
Yeah, sure.
You need to have I don't know how you make a banana cake. Let's just say it's bananas, it's eggs, it's oats, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you're making a small or big cake, it's the same work process.
Yeah.
It's the same as building one property or building 50 properties. So if I have 6 developments now. If I would like hands down, I would never start a process of. I would never recommend anyone to just do it for one villa, because you need to do the due diligence of the land you want to buy. You buy the land, you need to do the architectural design, building permit, all legal. You need to do all of the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for just one villa.
I feel it too, and it's the same in every country in the world.
So I would highly recommend to invest into, because you can also say, like, for example, Coco Hills we launched. When we launched that for the market, where we have all the final architectural designs, the building permit, the back end of all technical drawings and so on, that's a long process.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen from one day to another. So you can say in the same way, if you want to build a villa, there's a lot of work before you come to the point where you say, hey, now we can actually start the construction.
Yeah.
So my honest opinion, from my perspective, would be that effort-wise, you don't save anything. You don't save any money on making your own. So, except if it's because you want to have something very unique, because you want to live it in yourself or whatever it could be.
Like a special architecture or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's better to buy something that already exists.
Yeah, I would recommend that.
Yeah.
So you can say we have like more or less one property every day getting invested from clients around the world. French, Spanish, Dutch, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, you name it. We work with like the
So you sell more than one property every day?
In average, right? So I can say the last 45 days we had around 45 properties that got invested.
That's crazy, man. That's a lot.
It's properties.
Yeah, but it's a good grind. It's insane, man. I'm happy to talk to a guy with you, man. It's huge. It's like, for my perspective, it's something that it's impossible to reach, but because you start from not that much. When you came here, you were like a foreigner, and you were like you don't have any paper from Bali, from Indonesia. You just you're new here, and you're like, all right, let's fucking do it, man. And you build something great through the years. So I'm impressed by that. For real.
Thank you very much.
Same as Steven, by the way. Steven is building something great too with Nia, say. So yeah. So I have a question. So I'm gonna go through my question. What are the biggest challenges of running a business as a foreigner entrepreneur in Bali?
I think that's a good question. Yeah. Like, if I can be to be straight up, I think running a business in Bali is very, very, very simple. It's the culture of freedom. It's one of the most given culture in the world. Money is not religion. It's not corrupt. You don't get, people who try to be straight up. Like look at our growth. We started 1.5 years ago.
Yeah, because
it has been easy.
I think the difference here, and I'll say for my country, Canada, I have a lot of friends, a lot of people who I know very well. They're ready to build like big complex with 100 apartment and everything. They're ready. They have the cash. They have the plan. Everything is ready. But the government and the town, they don't want to give us the contract. Like it's so fucking hard. They wait. Like I know people. They have wait for 2, 3, 4 years before the country said, okay, let's go. You can do it. And you're like, fuck, man. So it doesn't exist.
No.
It's freedom.
It's less regulations, less systems. You know, I also think in like remember Johannes. He's the founder of Oxo, also a very incredible company here on the island. And as he spoke about at a
No, I'm watching my cameras just to be sure that that's running. Yeah.
Yeah. It is the country of freedom. You know what I mean? And it just, I think it's also what just makes a lot of people really just fall in love with the place.
Yeah.
You can do more or less what you want, but the culture here is just so pure and
That's
so clean.
insane. Yeah. The culture, and I found about the karma. It's all about the karma here.
That's it. Like, if you look at it from perspective of what is called like criminal, have you ever, like, literally speaking, have you ever seen anyone yelling at each other on this island?
Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy, even if they're poor. Everybody's happy to live. There's no crime. There's no. I talked to Nia, and she said there's almost no suicide here because people are happy, and it's refreshing. It's anti-stress, if I would say.
Yeah. Like, I have been so much in balance. You also ask, like, how much do you sleep per night and so on. I don't feel pressured.
Yeah.
I'm in zen. I'm in balance. Like, because it's just, things are just in flow. If I should put myself anywhere in the world where if I got the mission, like, you need to get 10 smiles from a stranger in a day, I would put myself in Bali.
Yeah.
Like, this is the easiest place on earth to get a new friend.
That's crazy because everybody, even the foreigners, they're happy. They're like, shit, yeah. I went a lot of time to United States, like, let's say Miami or Los Angeles, and the people are not talking to you. The people are not happy as here. That's a different, like, this is 100% different than anywhere in the world. I feel like.
I come from Denmark. We are supposed to be the happiest people in the world, at least for a few years ago. And I can just tell you, I like Danish people, but like I've said a few times, I remember I made a post about it when I moved to Cyprus for like many
Where
years
is Cyprus, by the way?
Cyprus is in Europe.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a Greek island.
Okay.
So it's all the way in the south. Quite okay located if you look at it from perspective of like weather. Yeah. So even in the winter, it's still like 20 degrees. So it's quite an interesting place. Also from a perspective of entrepreneurship, real estate, and so on. A lot of low taxes, good weather the most of the year
Here
round.
too, taxes are good here too.
Yeah, Bali's not bad.
We're gonna talk just a little bit about the. I just want to find my question. Okay, yeah. So, how would you describe the real estate market in Bali right now? Is it a good time to invest, like right now?
As you usually say, you can do a good investment in a bad area, and you can make a bad investment in a good area. So everything is about, in the end of the day, everything is about market understanding. There's a lot of factors coming into it. I can give you a few: location, design, sizes of the buildings. Like, are you building a 1-bedroom on 120 square meter? Or are you building a 1-bedroom on 40 square meter? You know, a lot of things comes into consideration. But let's give a short answer. Yes, Bali is probably the best real estate market in the world right now, hands down. This is not. Of course, I'm very colored. I do developments here, but I can also turn it around and say there's a reason I'm doing developments here. Yeah, it's been nominated as island number 1 in the world for the last 12 years, and the same as you see with like another. Let's look at it like, let's say Bali. Let's say Bali was a company like Apple, Nike, whatever. Bali has probably one of the, like, they have one of the strongest brands in the world. You have, what can you say? You have Dubai, you have Tulum, you have Hawaii, you have Mykonos, Santorino, Bali, and yeah, a few other places. You have a lot of other places, Miami, whatever comes to it, Montreal.
Yeah, thank you.
But I just, from a perspective of Asia and tropical, if that's what you're looking for, I would say, you know, Bali stands quite for itself. And
do you think it's becoming I don't know how to say, so not overload, but it's becoming like, how would you say, can you see the same as right now in 5, 10, 15 years? Like, it's gonna increase, is gonna stay a nice place to invest, or it's gonna decrease at one point. I have a word in my head, but I can't say the word. But I think you understand what I mean.
But like if you look at it from a perspective of tourism, I think I can compare it a little bit. Like let's say you have a web shop. One thing that is important for the growth of a web shop is that your revenue continues, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you sell more and more products, you also need to have the product for it, right? Mm-hmm. So what is the product of Bali? That is the nature, it's the local people. If you ask me, that's what makes Bali so unique. It is simply the local culture. Yes, Bali is going to continue growing. But if you ask me, Bali just started. The real estate market here is very young.
My word was saturate. My word was saturate. Yeah.
I'm happy that you came back with the word.
Yeah.
Bali is beautiful. Bali is big. Bali's real estate market started for, let's call it 15 years ago. If you look at the biggest developers on the island, we look at being, I would say something like top 5. We started 1.5 years ago. The biggest developer on the island makes probably $250 million per year. The reason I mention this is just to put it in comparison, compare it with other words. But for example, let's say at Damak or Emarat or whatever in Dubai, they make billions of dollars. My point is that Bali just started as a real estate market. You have so many incredible areas of Bali where there's no development. Nothing have happened. And tourism is going up. They're building a new airport in the north. They're building the whole train line.
They're building a new airport right now?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
You can fly directly from Japan to here. No, I don't know. You probably can.
But I've seen it myself because I'm just driving around on the island with my moto. It's so fun, by the way. Just driving around and see. And there's so much development everywhere. Like every 2 minutes, boom, a big building is under construction, a big complex. Or I went with Steven to Uluwatu a couple times in the last month, and this part too, Uluwatu is growing a lot too. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm a developer. I build real estate. Does everybody loves me? No. Have people come to Bali for the last 15 years, and a lot of people probably don't think that. What I'm doing, for example, not because I'm not killing anyone. In a bigger picture, I'm creating jobs for a lot of people. My point is just.
So you said you have 600 people under you. So
if you look at it from a perspective of management,
workers,
management, construction, we have 350 people alone in construction on field. We have 85 people in core organization, sales, marketing, legal, and architect.
That's insane.
So yeah, we are quite a team today. But yeah, not everybody loves change. Sometimes people they're like, hey, this is not how I remembered Bali.
Yeah.
What I fell in love with for 10 years ago, and that's okay.
And that's true, because for the local, you're maybe in their perspective, you're taking over their place.
No, I don't think it's from a local perspective.
No?
Local people is like, this is I'm quite honest, man. I talk from my heart, or whatever you want to call it. From a perspective of local, like for example, I can tell you, like we just spoke about, there's going to come an airport in the north. So we're going to be the pioneer in making the biggest development in the north right now, the 1.4 hectare. That's super, super, super positive for the local environment. Why? Because they get work.
Yeah.
It's the north of Bali is 2.5 hours from the south, maybe 3 hours. If you ask around here, next time you're standing in a mart, in a supermarket, whatever, you're going to meet so many people who comes from the north every fucking day to work here because there's no work.
What?
So
they do 2-3 hours of moto every morning to go work.
Yeah, because there's no work. Like the guy in a protein shake where I go every morning, he lives in Luina. He drives to shake up every morning. So I've said to him like, you're gonna get a job in Luina when we open Aura.
You're gonna give him a job up there when you open the year 2.
Yeah, we're gonna open up. Like a lot of in general, you can say when we have a jungle resort in an area called Kappa Kappa. And we always go in communication with the local, it's called Bancha, it's like, the local environment.
Yeah.
And we always say to them, this is our plans. It's important for us that we unite. We don't, for example, they said, hey, we think the building is too high. They wanted me to take a floor out. And I just said, done. That was I didn't say anything. I just said, done.
Perfect.
That's
one less floor, that's it.
Done.
All right.
No legal things tells me that I have to.
Wow.
I just lost, let's just call it $1.5 million.
It's just respect.
It's, I don't work for money. It's easy to say, of course, but I'm settled for life. I've been that since I was a kid. I come from Denmark. I don't.
You're settled for life?
No, I just mean for me, it's more important that, what comes around goes around. I'm not, I get more joy out of making people happy than, I made $1. You know what I mean?
That's fucking interesting, man. Right now, what are the trends? I think we've been through this question a little bit, but for my people, I think it's interesting. What are the trends in the Bali real estate market? Are people looking for luxury villa, co-living space, eco-friendly developments, or what people are looking for, like the most when you get calls from customers?
Super interesting question. I can say a few different. Like I used to say to my clients. So we are in the bigger picture, we are an investment company. So we look a lot into data, we look a lot into trends, locations, etc. A few things I can say. People calculate in bedrooms, not square meters. My point is that you can make a one bedroom on 40 square meter, you can also make a one bedroom on 120 square meter. We believe in the way we build that. Let me put it up this way. People come to Bali to have a good time. People come to Bali for meeting like-minded people often, and they don't come to stay. It's not like you go to Switzerland in the winter and you want to stay in your cozy place inside because it's rainy and cold outside. People come to Bali and they want to live in a nice neighborhood. So we build a lot. We build, let's call it, less is more. We build smaller, and then we build a lot of facilities to it. Our latest development, Coco Hills, is 12,000 square meter of construction.
All right, we're back. I'm sorry, the power shut down. I don't know why. It's not happening that much here now.
It's the first time I'm in this villa, but in general, no, electricity is normal, stable.
Yeah. So I think maybe the first 35 minutes you've listened to are not gonna have any images or video, so it's out of my control. I'm sorry about that, and we're gonna hope that the rest is okay. So we were talking about what the people want here. It's co-working, what was my question? Whatever.
Like trends. I think
the trends.
Yeah. So we build what we call ourselves the future of living.
Yeah.
So you can say we live in a world where, like with everything that happened in COVID and so on, that people in the majority of the world today, they can work remotely.
Yeah.
And what does that in a bigger picture mean? That means that people can actually freely move. Of course, you can still have family, you can have love, you have your local neighborhood, but in general, people don't, like we had it for 10 years ago, have to be in the same place all the time. That means that we see in Bali a lot of people coming. It's like one of the hotspots in the world for what I don't like the word digital nomad, to be honest. I don't see myself as a digital nomad. I just see it as, the modern world. So we build what we call the future of living. We build livings with amenities that talks into lifestyles. We build a lot of like communal areas. It's also called I think it's called like the third space, like the third room, which means the communal areas. Like you see it with bookshops where you can sit and you can meet people. You have a lot of running clubs coming. And in the same way, we built Coco Hills have podcast studio as a co-working. It has a
podcast studio?
We have 2 podcast studios. Yeah. I have designed my own podcast studio.
Insane. Let's go.
So we build a lot of amenities where you can say you can play, grow, connect. You can go to the gym. We have a 250 square meter gym. So it's not just, this little 40 square meter basement gym. It's a proper gym. You have a wellness. We have everything you can imagine. You have a restaurant where We don't have small tables. We have long tables.
Nice.
We have a menu called social dining. We have one focus, and that is to say, how can we create the best possible time for people staying in our properties? And I just look at myself. Like, if I came to, let's say, Hawaii, Tulum, I've never been there before. Like, I would love to have a plug-and-play solution where I could just move into a place. I have my gym. I have my workspace. I have a wellness. And most important, I have like-minded people. Like, I'm surrounded by like-minded people.
Yeah.
All the branding, the storytellings, everything Coco is about is about bringing people together. I can tell you the reason we also have a podcast studio is because, like, we want to showcase who is the people living here.
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a fucking good idea. Let's say I'm a foreigner and I want to invest here. How's the legal framework work for investor in Indonesia? What are the biggest hurdles? I don't know what is hurdles, but yeah.
Hurdles? What is the biggest issues or concerns?
Yeah, issues. Yeah, like for me, if I want to move here, I'm like, it's gonna be complicated. The paper, the government, the visa, the whatever, blah blah blah. Is it hard to move here or?
I think everything just requires information. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I wanted to start I started a development company for 1.5 years ago, and for me it has been very, very, very simple. In the same way, we help our clients with everything. Why? Because we understand it. So in the bigger picture, it's quite simple. There is different ways to do it, but in the bigger picture, it's as you have it in any other country. You have a notary. You buy a property. You have all the details, the location, the size, the communal areas. Who's the first party? Who's the second party? And you sign it by a notary. So what I would recommend everyone, let's say you're not investing with let's say a known developer. Let's say you're just buying a land from someone. Then I would highly recommend you to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
If you are buying a villa of someone, I would also highly recommend you to just, do your groundwork, do your due diligence of who is the second party. What is their, let's call it, track record? What is the CV? What is the quality of the construction they have been providing previous? Have they had any delays, for example? And could also be something like, for example, the price point. Is this overpriced or not overpriced? Mm-hmm. That would be some of the things I would look into myself if I was a client.
Yeah, it's like you have to do the work. You can't just move here and do nothing. You have to do some work beforehand to make sure everything is great. All right. I have another. Okay, I'm gonna, because we're running out of time. You have another meeting soon. What are your long-term goals for Coco Development? I heard you want to be the biggest in the world, and I see your drive. I see the kind of guy you are. I think you're gonna at some point like be fucking big. So I know it's one of your goals, but for long terms, what do you want?
I would say in the bigger picture, it's not about being the biggest. It's more about creating value, and I know that sounds very, very cliche, but it's more about creating a worldwide, let's call it, community of what we call it ourselves, for people seeking for more, or for people with purpose. It's the same with the developments and the things we do. Like I usually say, like, also one of the beautiful things about Bali is that it's so diversified. You have Australians, Russians, the whole Europe is living here, Canada, the US, like everybody's living here, and they bring their thing to the table. Italians, the French, you know what I mean? It's that's beautiful. And in the same way, Coco, we are like, we don't build, let's say you look at Airbnb and you find like booking.com, you find a surfer hostel, right? You can imagine that you have surfers living here. If I looked at that, I would be like, I don't know how to fucking surf, you know? We are not a surfer hostel. Like, what we stand for is like diversity. We are for people who's here to have the best possible time. That's what we showcase in all of our communication. We are for the yoga girl. We are for the surfer. We are for the entrepreneur. We are for the gym guy. We are for the billionaire. We are for the family.
The YouTuber.
We are like, our favorites are the podcasters. We love podcasters.
That's insane. If you could start over, I know it's not a long, 10 years company, but if you could start over, would you do things differently?
I think that's a good question. No, I would not. I think I somehow... my first company was called Copenhague. So I used to make festivals for 6 years. So I think,
what kind of festival? Electro?
I had a light festival called Panorama. So we create a panorama for you to explore the highest possible level of visual art combined with electronic music. But in general, I made...
Where, in Copenhagen?
In Copenhagen, yeah.
Were this big attendee festival? A lot of people were there?
I made festivals and events for like 6 years. So you can say I come from like... I think a lot of the foundation of who is Rasmus is about... I like to challenge status quo. And I've never wanted to work. I always wanted to just be free.
Yeah,
and
like me.
I just wanted to have a good time with the things I did, and I loved people. I loved to have a good time. So I was like, hey, what if I make events? Then I never have to work. Then I'm just always together with the people that, is the most important for me, my friends, my family, and, my social environment.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think I would, of course, there was nothing I would do different. It's just, it's a little bit like, let's say you want to go, you want to go here. You need to do the first step. If you want to go like 1 kilometer, you say, hey, I think it's this direction. You will have a better understanding when you walk the first 100 meters and fuck no, I don't recognize that tree. I think it's a little bit to the right. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot is it's just a learning. And you, like I always say, it's step by step.
Yeah.
The further you go, the more informative you are. And you, of course, change a little bit on your decisions. But it's very difficult to have the knowledge before you have the knowledge.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know that sounds like logical, but would you change anything? No. I walk down a path where I'm just coming with a curiosity, a curious mindset, and I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow, and what I do is not perfect, but I do everything I can to, shape the diamond in shape it better, whatever you want to call it.
That's great, man. You're very interesting to talk with, for real. We're gonna talk again sometimes in the future, but on no podcast. All right. So if there's someone listening who wants to come here and invest or whatever, what's one piece of advice you give to someone who wants to follow a similar path as you? If someone from Canada, because I'm sure I have a lot of entrepreneurs listening to the show, and they're like, shit, I should go to Bali too to try to do something, try to create a business. What advice would you give to them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you, ChatGPT. That's ChatGPT question. That's so great, man.
I think in general, I will tell people just do it. You know what I mean? Like I just said before, if you
jump into it, try,
do it. Listen, be humble, be curious, enjoy it. I think that's the most important. I fucking love what I do. You know what I mean? It's not what we do, but why we do it. It's the same with our team, the company culture. Everything is not. We are not just a real estate company selling concrete. We have a deeper vision. We have a long-term plan. We want way more. It's I don't get fulfilled about money. I don't honestly speaking. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's not. I just love to do business, and for me, having revenue is just like oxygen for a human being.
And it's a freedom too.
It's freedom, but it's also just it gives you. I was about to say it gives you power, but now it gives you opportunities
to build, to make bigger things, and
it's super funny. It's incredible. You sit there and say, "Hey guys, we are making a new development." Give you an example. We talked about a lot of things we do is also based on creating content around it. Getting traffic on Instagram, whatever, go viral, whatever. And we looked at jungle gyms. What is the biggest jungle? Long story short, I can tell you we're building the biggest jungle gym now in one of our new developments. And that just came from, it's just so fun. What is the biggest jungle gym in the world? Now we're building the biggest jungle gym in the world because we found out what
Guinness
is the biggest.
record. Boom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Would you, this is a question from my mind. Do you want to expand in other countries, Coco, in the future?
So we're looking at going global in 2026, open up.
Global, so everywhere in the world.
We want to have Coco properties in 10 locations before 2030. So the 5-year plan, 2026, open up in Thailand. And then again, the long road. And you take it from there and you take it step by step, right? But we want to have it because you can say in the bigger picture, the vision of Coco is to create the best possible time and the best possible life for my colleagues, my clients, my friends, and my family. So a lot of what we stand for is, yes, we want to elevate wealth. We are an investment company. We want to make money for our clients. Why? Because then they can get freedom. In the same way, we are experience-driven company that want to create experiences for the people who is a part of the world of Coco. So you can say one of the reasons we want to have Coco properties in the whole world is because we want to inspire people to travel more, experience more. And yes, Bali is incredible. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of other places in the world. So imagine you could live like 5 places in a year, and everything was like with the same community kind of. You can stay in Tulum, you can stay in Zanzibar, you can stay in Hawaii, you can stay in Cape Town, you can stay in Copenhague in Thailand, you can stay in Bali, you can stay in, you name it, right? And it's just like a circle. And you have travel benefits everywhere you stay because you are part of the world of Coco.
I see the vision. The vision is fucking great, man.
I'm quite excited as well. That's why I work on a Saturday.
Vision is great. Have you think about this company for a long time, or it just pop on your mind like when you came here? Because there's a big reflection behind this vision, and for you to make it happen for real, it's so great, man. Because I'm listening to you, and I wanna be part of the
I build things. I do things I can see myself in. I would love to live in Coco Hills myself. I would love to experience the Amazon jungle resort we have. I would love to live in a Coco lifestyle resort. Like everything I do is something I could see myself in. Where I'm reflecting, I always look at my company as if I was the guest, or if I was the client. And again, if I came to Tulum and I saw a brand like Coco, like hands down, I would stay in it myself. That's why I'm creating it.
I see the same for my content. So I create content, I would listen, I would watch. And I think that's the way to build something, because you have to build something that's close to you. And I think that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's it, man. You're free to go, man. Go to your meeting.
Thank you so much for having me here today. And life is what you make it.
So I'm going to put all your socials, the Coco, your personal socials on the description of the show.
Yeah.
And if people want to ask questions or whatever, they can reach out to Coco Instagram, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you, Rasmus, man. That was a good talk. That was a short one, but I'm so happy to have you, man. Thank you for your time. For real, I appreciate it so much. That was my first in English. You
just need to. You did amazing.
I did amazing?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna continue to practice my English, and so that's it. All right, I'm gonna. All right, so you're good to go, man. I'm just gonna speak French to my people right now. Thank you, man. For real, that was so great. Merci, man. C'était cool. C'était vraiment cool. À part le fuck-up au début, en fait, à peu près à 35 minutes quand ça l'a coupé. Donc, je suis désolé si on a manqué de vidéos. Je vais essayer fort parce que je sais qu'il y a des logiciels qui nous permettent d'aller... Il y a un logiciel en particulier qui s'appelle This Drill que tu peux aller driller pour essayer de récupérer une shot. Mais vraiment, vraiment, vraiment intéressant la discussion qu'on a eue avec le boy. Puis moi, je trouve ça fascinant, les gars qui partent de rien comme ça. En fait, il y avait quand même un certain background, comme il nous a expliqué, mais je trouve ça fascinant, des gars qui partent de rien. Thank you, man. Be careful. Stay safe. Je trouve ça vraiment, vraiment insane. Puis le gars, c'est un bon man. Ce gars-là, c'est un sale bon requin. Ben, requin. Je dis pas requin dans le sens il veut manger tout le monde, mais tu vois qu'en dedans de lui, il y a la flamme. Il y a vraiment la flamme, puis il s'en crisse. Il est genre, moi, je vais réussir. Puis il a dit plusieurs fois, l'argent, c'est pas un truc qui me drive, mais à la fin de la journée, quand tu fais des projets, tu bâtis 6 complexes et toute la patente. Je vais fermer cette caméra-là. Quand tu bâtis 6 complexes et tout, à un certain moment donné, Chris... Puis tu vends des... il dit qu'il a passé 45 villas dans les 45 derniers jours. C'est quand même huge. Alors, vraiment, vraiment intéressant. Fait que merci d'avoir été là. Je prends pas souvent le temps de vous jaser directement comme ça. Moi qui parle tout seul à la caméra, mais je veux dire merci pour les 3-4 derniers shows qu'on a fait à Bali. Vraiment fucking nice. C'est plus compliqué que je pensais parce que j'ai moins de facilité à trouver des gens qui parlent français. Là, j'ai pas eu le choix. Tu vois, j'ai jasé avec Rasmus. Il parle anglais parce que on me l'a proposé. Il était disponible et tout. Donc, je suis super content. Mais je trouve ça peut-être un petit peu plus difficile que ce que je m'attendais pour trouver des guests. Mais regarde, on va passer au travers. On va y aller. Si vous êtes sur la caméra présentement, je peux vous montrer le pied, comment ça va. Je sais pas si vous voyez bien, là. Hier, j'ai eu mon congé. Regardez, je vais être honnête avec vous autres. Je vais être honnête. On enregistre ça présentement. On est le 20 février ici. Il est 2h33 l'après-midi à Canggu. Et le 19 février, donc hier soir, j'ai eu mon congé d'hôpital. Ils ont enlevé mon pansement. L'infection est complètement résorbée et j'ai pas encore le droit de me baigner. Mais ça a été toute une ride quand même. Ça a pris... ça a volé 3 semaines de mon trip. Ça fait presque un mois que je suis là. Et j'ai eu 3 semaines de complètement volé par une blessure conne qui a un peu scrappé mon vibe. Mais regarde, qu'est-ce que tu veux? Je me suis pas empêché de vivre. J'attendais après ça justement pour faire du surf, aller faire un volcan, aller visiter des chutes. Parce que, tu sais, aller visiter des chutes avec un pied dans le plâtre, c'est vraiment pas le best shit. Donc, voilà. On est bien à ce niveau-là. Donc, merci les boys. Sincèrement, les girls aussi. J'espère que vous appréciez le content qu'on vous propose. Gênez-vous pas, laissez des commentaires sur YouTube, laissez des commentaires sur Spotify aussi. Je les lis toutes et je réponds à tout le monde tout le temps. Je suis vraiment content quand on a des retours sur les émissions. Vous pouvez donner des suggestions aussi. Ça fait trop plaisir, Kev puis moi. Puis c'est by the way, c'est Kev qui a le full contrôle du show. Hein. Moi, je les enregistre, je les envoie à Kevin. Et tout ce que vous voyez sur... l'Insta de la gang, les Reels, les Shorts, les TikToks, c'est tout Kevin qui a les accès, il s'occupe de tout. Donc, Kevin, il fait vraiment un job exceptionnel. Kevin in the fucking chat. Sinon, voilà, je vous laisse là-dessus. Passez une belle semaine. On se revoit dimanche prochain pour un show qui sera peut-être, je dis bien peut-être, on n'est pas encore certain, mais ce sera peut-être enregistré à Tokyo. J'aimerais bien ça parce que je pense qu'on part à Tokyo ce week-end. Peut-être que le son va être différent. On va peut-être l'enregistrer avec des micro-cravates, mais on va essayer de faire quelque chose à Tokyo. Ça pourrait vraiment, vraiment être cool. C'est sûr que je n'amènerai pas ma console et tout, mais amener un setup plus petit pour enregistrer quelque chose à Tokyo avec le centre-ville, je sais pas. On va voir comment ça va être comment ça va se passer là-bas avec les installations et tout. J'aimerais vraiment, vraiment faire une émission à Tokyo. Je vous laisse là-dessus. Merci d'avoir été là. Merci d'avoir écouté. Vous êtes absolument exceptionnels. Gros bisous partout. Et on se revoit dimanche prochain. Life is good. Je vais mettre l'outro. Attends un peu, là. Wait. Je vais faire ça de la bonne façon, là. Je vais faire ça de la bonne façon, là. Pendant que je me fais texter l'autre bord. God damn, dude. Fait que, hey, mettez donc 5 étoiles sur Spotify. OK? Ça fait plaisir. Il faut qu'on pogne le 1000. Allez sur Spotify. Et tu cliques en haut quand je vais le faire avec vous autres, là. Je vais y aller avec vous autres, alright? Tu vas sur Spotify, en haut complètement de l'émission, il y a 3 petits points. Il y a une roulette, puis à côté de la roulette, il y a 3 petits points. Tu cliques sur ces 3 petits points, tu cliques sur évaluer l'émission, tu donnes 5 étoiles, and you're free to go, man. Free to go. On veut 1000 ratings. Please do it. Je vous aime beaucoup. Take care. Allez sur le Patreon aussi, ça nous supporte grandement. Vous avez absolument aucune idée, les boys. Patreon.com, la gang show, c'est la place. See you in a week. Take care. Ciao. Bisous.
La gamme du show.
L'audio, le visuel, mais surtout l'audio.